Hello again, Mazda fans. Today we have the Mazda Atenza, which outside of Japan and China is called the Mazda 6. I don't know why they don't just call it the 6 in Japan, but whatever. So I reviewed the Mazda 2 because I actually have one of those in real life, and I liked it, so I thought I'd pick this up. So it's made by a company called Oversteer, I guess. Yeah, it literally says produced by Oversteer with Inter-Allied Company. Alright, nothing on the bottom. Interesting. So it's a 2015 Atenza sedan, and I don't see any licensing. Maybe it's not licensed. Alright, well, typical packaging. We got this plastic case here, and there you go. I'm going to take it off. I don't care about rolling models. And so, this is the third generation Mazda 6. I'm going to call it a Mazda 6. And it started for model years 2014 and is still made today in 2025. I think it's an attractive looking sedan. You know, nothing ugly, nothing spectacular, but not ugly. Interestingly, it's only powered by inline 4 cylinders of various displacements. I would have guessed it would have had a V6 or some sort of 6-cylinder option, but not the case with all the fuel consumption concerns and the like. So as you can see, this is a metallic red, maybe not like the first photo, but more like the second and third photo. And, well, there's some Tampa printing here, produced by Oversteer with Inter-Allied. It would be nice maybe if it said 2015 here, right? So the metallic paint on this die-cast body is pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. Very small flake, so it looks good. It's got these like black chromed kind of wheels, and they do match up with the photographs. So we have 5 lug nut details. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I'm curious if there's a brake system. I don't see one off the top of my head. This model wasn't too expensive, so it's not going to kill me if it doesn't have one. And I know I lost focus. I don't have 3 hands. I don't think there's a brake system, unless it's that disc. Look, I guess maybe that is supposed to be a brake. It's just really small. This thing is running big wheels, I guess. I don't know if it's part of the wheel casting or a separate piece. I think it's part of the wheel casting, as you can see. Well, if you really want it to, it does roll, but I'm going to guess there's a lot of friction in there. Okay. The tire's nice. It's rounded a little bit. It's pretty well... It's kind of slammed more than it should be. The front end is slammed down. This looks a little bit more like the photographs, but I like low riding cars, so I'm okay with this. Alright, panel gaps seem okay. The door handles are nicely done. The recess above and below the handle itself, and the little segment there for the pull-out section. A little sweeping curve there. Okay, this is matte black, that window molding, and then you have this silver paint here, mimicking the chrome. Separate mirrors, of course, with the black bottom area and a shiny sticker. Yep, that's literally a mirror. Going around to the front, we have the plastic light covers looking good, and there's a lot of like chrome behind it in the light bucket. Looks like, yeah, looks pretty realistic with the different reflections and artifacts going on in those light buckets. We even have the fog lights, a little silver paint, and a little more of that chrome work looking good. And then some grille textures, and they're different, black and chromed here. The Atenza, it's nice to have something on the license plate, which is great. And that is a very shiny Mazda logo. Look at that, that's a mirror. So some sort of foil sticker or decal, I'm not sure. Hopefully it won't peel off in the future. It's not metal, I think it's too thin to be photo etched metal. Alright, well anyways, the grill is nice. You got that bottom chrome piece blending into the headlights there. Alright, you can see a little more of this paint here. Yeah, a little bit wavy there, but not bad. I am magnified, so... Uh-oh, but here's the problem. Look at this paint rash. Yep. Oh boy, and look at this one. Is that literally an air pocket? I think that's... I don't know, I don't want to push on it, but... So... if you've been with me for a few years, I started this channel during COVID, or COVID as they call it here. I really love these diecast cards. I have over 1,000 of the realistic ones, but 90% of them I would say have problems, and this is one of them. So diecast metal is just a hodgepodge mix of random metals and probably a bunch of Chinese lunches thrown in for good measure. And they don't want to be stable. They're dissimilar materials. They outgas, and I think that's what causes paint rash. Red has a hard problem, but usually metallics are better. But as you can see, this is a metallic red, and it's still got a pretty horrible looking roof and trunk back here. So this is why I don't really collect these anymore. This year, you're not at some point in time you're not going to see me collecting any of these. I'd rather put my money into something that doesn't have problems. So that's unfortunate. People should be asking for plastic bodies. It's not good for the planet, but plastic bodies, I don't think they get paint rash like this because it's one material, right? Injection molded plastic is one material. It's not a mix of random stuff that doesn't want to be mixed together. It's like mixing oil and water, die cast. A bunch of random stuff. Alright, so foil thing here. Nice license plate again. The Atenza is legible. And maybe that's the Sky Active thing. That Mazda marketing stuff. Okay, well, you got the clear tail lights. Kind of hard to see on a red metallic body, but they are there. It's not paint, it's a clear thing. These recesses, I don't think there's additional paint for the reflectors. Little chromed plastic exhaust tips with a little dimple in there, and then a big chromed, it's the same plastic again. So, big muffler there. Alright. The treads, I don't know, maybe this thing's running slicks. Yeah, I guess it is running slicks. I'm not bothered by that because very often you have a bunch of big truck knobby tires, side blocks, but these guys avoided it by just simply having slick tires. And if you look at a car from a distance, you can't see the treads anyways, right? Not on a road car tire. So even in those photographs I pulled up, you can't see the treads. So I'm pretty happy just having slicks in the side view, not looking like it's going to go mud bogging. So, alright, the wiper blades there raised and painted black, and the dashboard obviously is black, nice molded detail, typical of a diecast, premium diecast. And hold on a second. I put this in a vise, hopefully it'll help out. It does seem to help out. Unfortunately, being molded windows, it's a little distorted, but I actually like molded windows now because on my resin models, the windows have popped loose on several models because they're under tension. But molded windows aren't under tension in most cases, so I'd rather have cloudy, distorted windows that don't pop loose than super thin packaging plastic windows that do pop loose. Alright, so the back seat is actually like this tannish, brownish color. Yeah, this is actually a very well done interior. Multiple colors. The door panel's got two colors, black and I guess it's like a gray, these seats. Yeah. There's a rear view mirror there. Sorry, the reflection though is really messing things up. The middle console there, the steering wheel. It does have the stalks for the turn signal and wiper blades. And let me hit focus again. Yeah, some sort of button there in the middle. Well, anyways, I guess it seems okay. Back area. I'm trying to get the flashlight in there. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's hard to see. Okay, well, alright. Seems good enough for me. That's a little too fast, isn't it? Alright. So here's a Mazda Demio, or Mazda 2 as I know it, and I assume it's made by Oversteer, but it's a dealership model, so there's no Oversteer branding on this. I only wish I was able to find a white one. But anyways, I don't have all too many Mazdas in my collection, especially four-door sedans, but here is a TLV of a Luce, I think? No, it's, yeah, it is a Luce Legato. Generation 3, maybe? Anywho. It's a funky, I don't know what it is. I forget. Taxi? No, I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of livery that is. Okay. And then you have those Aoshima Grachan cars. This is not a sedan, but I put on some BNDS plastic wheels on this thing. So this is a Cosmo, I guess. And lastly, an extinct brand called CM's. CM apostrophe S, not CMS. Uh, this is the 323 GTR 1993 rally car. This is one brand I wish still existed because I like rally cars. Alright, so all die casts. And fortunately, at least the other ones don't have paint rash yet. But I think it's only a matter of time. It's something about these premium brands. Their paint process just isn't the same as Hot Wheels. I think Hot Wheels powder coats their models. So it's literally like melting a shell of acrylic or melting a shell of plastic paint onto it. But maybe these more premium ones are literally painted like real cars, like not powder coated, just literally spray painted and stuff. And maybe that's why you get this kind of paint rash problem. Well, if you really like cars and you just accept these are disposable luxury goods, then go ahead and collect them. But if you're stumbling into this video and you're thinking you might want to start spending more money on premium diecast 1/64 scale models, and you want your stuff to last, I would say you're in the wrong place. I think your money would be better spent just buying RC cars, or maybe just bigger toys, preferably made of plastic. It's hard to say, really. You know, everyone has their own taste and opinions. It's your disposable income, so do whatever you want that makes you happy. But I think I've had enough. You know, I think only buying 1,000 of these models, I put in my time, and I'm just thinking now I have 900 paperweights that are going to ultimately end up in the trash barrel, which is a real shame. Alright, well, thanks for watching today, and still a very few amount of other 1/64 scale realistic looking models I will review. And then the rest, it's just going to be tuned stuff, I think. Because with tuned stuff, I don't expect it to look like the real thing because it's tuned, right? Alright, thanks for watching today. Bye.